Why are people so triggered by women who know they're beautiful? And no, I'm not talking about women who think they're better than everyone else. I'm talking about women who simply know their value, know they're attractive, and don't feel the need to apologize for it. Because the second a woman becomes comfortable with her beauty, something very weird happens. People start calling her arrogant, conceited, full of herself, or say things like, "Who does she think she is?" And suddenly, her confidence becomes a character flaw. But let's be honest, a woman who knows she's beautiful is difficult to manipulate because she's not desperately waiting for somebody else to confirm what she already knows. When you don't need validation, you become a lot harder to control. And I think that's what actually makes people uncomfortable. Think about how differently we treat confidence depending on who's displaying it. A confident man walks into a room knowing he looks good, knows his worth, knows he's desirable, and people might call him charismatic. A woman does the exact same thing, and suddenly she thinks she's all that. She's doing too much. Or people feel the need to humble her. I think it's important for women to understand that sometimes people aren't reacting to your behavior. They're reacting to what your confidence makes them feel about themselves. Your confidence can be a mirror, and some people absolutely hate what they see in their own reflection. When you stop fishing for compliments, stop shrinking yourself, stop pretending you don't know you're attractive just to make everyone else comfortable, you remove their ability to make you feel valuable. And some people were very comfortable with you needing their approval. Women are constantly taught to perform humility. You get a compliment and immediately say, "Oh my gosh, no, I look horrible." Someone says you're gorgeous and you're supposed to laugh it off. Someone says your body is tea and you're expected to reassure everyone that you don't even think you're that pretty. But why? Why are women expected to reject positive attention just to prove we're not arrogant? You're allowed to say, "Thank you." It's okay to know you look good. You can love your face, your body, your style, and your femininity. That doesn't automatically make you narcissistic. Confidence and narcissism are not the same thing. Confidence says, "I know my worth." Narcissism says, "My worth is more important than yours." Those are two completely different things. Don't confuse self-respect with superiority. A woman doesn't have to hate herself to prove she's humble. Beautiful women often receive attention simply for existing, and not all of that attention is positive. Sometimes people idealize you. Sometimes they objectify you. Sometimes they resent you. Sometimes they assume your life is easy. They might even assume you must be shallow because you're attractive. And sometimes people will actively try to knock you down because they believe you need to be reminded that you're not that special. But you don't need to respond to every person who has an opinion about you. You don't need to prove you're a good person to someone committed to misunderstanding you. And you definitely don't need to make yourself less attractive, less confident, or less feminine because somebody else is uncomfortable with your presence. You are allowed to be beautiful without making yourself smaller. Some people are going to be triggered by your confidence. Some might even say you're full of yourself. And some might even try to humble you. Let them. You don't have to convince everybody that you're humble. You don't have to dim yourself to make somebody else feel brighter. You don't have to pretend you don't know you're beautiful. Sometimes they're triggered because you've decided you don't need their permission to feel good about yourself. And that can be uncomfortable for an insecure person to witness. But that's not your burden to carry. Alright ladies, that is all for today's video. If you'd like to keep up with more of my content, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Reina Safo. One last thing, always remember to protect the woman you're becoming. I'll see you in the next one.